in SQL, MS SQL in grade 11, what you have learned, and then I want to know because I have prepared SQL from scratch. So, what is a database, and then what is relational database? How to create a table, what is the data types are available. So I have created, prepared this way. I want to know, how far you are familiar with SQL. Just anyone can tell me.
Ma'am, we are familiar with creating table, delete, update, like functions, ma'am, like that.
Oh, then what we have it here, same setup thing. You know what is a foreign key, primary key, everything.
Yes, ma'am, but a little bit forgotten, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Modifying table. So the same content is here. Why they are getting twice more on SQL. Okay, let's give me a little bit here and there, and then we will move on to more on SQL. Okay, actually
Okay,
I
ma'am.
don't have that software. That is why if I have that SQL, then I can work around. I can show you how to do more queries, and then this. But I asked madam, she sent me that a 32-bit of installation, but my some compatible error is coming because my laptop was a 64-bit. The installation package which they sent is only it is 32. I don't know,
You
there is
can't
some
download it,
error.
ma'am.
Yeah, I downloaded it from a website, but some of the somehow while installing it is showing me error. That is why I couldn't.
Install from the what is it, ma'am? Publisher website, ma'am.
Do you know anyone?
No, ma'am, you can search it in MySQL, ma'am.
Yeah, I checked it, but see, for example, MySQL download. Is it reliable if I download something? You're saying from here?
Yes, ma'am. Then download XAMPP, ma'am.
Yeah, I tried it. Download, that what
Scroll down,
package?
ma'am.
Yeah, community edition. This
Yes,
one
ma'am.
I tried, but somehow I don't know. I couldn't able to. Okay, let me within this week I will download or get it real software from my friend, and then we can move on. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay then. So far, you all know about the introduction. What is database, and then what is a DBMS, right?
What, ma'am?
You know what is database, and then what is DBMS, relational database, database management. What is a degree, what is a candidate key, what is a relation. You all familiar about it, or can I explain one more time?
Yes, ma'am. Explain one more time, ma'am.
Okay, that would be great. Okay, then. So the database system is basically the computer-based recorded, keep record keeping system. You know what? If you go to supermarket, they have a billing system. So the billing system, you can the front end page easily what is that the product item, and then code, and then price of it. But inside they have to keep the data. So for example, if I bring some chenna or whatever, they if they scan the data, the product name, and then price of it, everything should be stored, right? So they need some certain system that managing that data.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
is called database management system. So before, in earlier days, they worked with only one table. So one table means they can create a table. It is it is based on the table. So the database management system, mostly it is related to table. So they create with rows and columns. The rows are, each row is, I will show later. Just I'm explaining. Each row is considered as a record, and then column considered as a entity, or you can say that in, they need to store all the information, right? Whatever the products they are selling, they have to store that.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that is why they each, the company or anyone, they want to keep a bulk of data. They need a database. So here, so the system that manages the database is called you can explain that a database management system means the certain system that manages that database. Okay, so that is the
Yes, ma'am.
DBMS. So nowadays you can use a MySQL. These are all called a database. So yeah, I forgot. Before earlier days, they use only one table, and then they manipulate, or they create they added data and then deleted data. That is called a database. So later on, what they decided, they create more than table, maybe two tables or three tables. They each table will be related to each other. Okay, so for example, I'm using I created one table here. I will explain. See here, this is a employee table. So when I select that employee table, that will show employee name and then phone number, any primary key. I will explain what is primary key, designation. Then salary. You see, salary, they cannot right away type it, open that record, and then they cannot write it, because by experience, but depending on that designation, experience, maybe they will the salary will be changed. For example, in this table, the Peter is also junior engineer, and then Sam is junior engineer. But the he joined earlier, then he joined late, soon, recently. So which means their salary definitely will be different. How it is different? So the junior in the company decide that basic salary for junior engineers maybe 10,000 or 15,000 or whatever. So later they will have a package that increment in every year, right? So they
Yes, ma'am.
have to keep a record for salary only. So that is why they are creating a salary table. So in that table, what they do, designation, if junior engineer means the basic salary for all junior engineers, they will fix that rate. So then they calculate depending upon the starting year of joining. Each year they will add increment, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then how much increment amount, sometimes they will double that salary. It's depending upon that management. It is not depending upon the database. So that this salary is related to this salary table, right? So they have, each table have relation with another table. So that is why now database is developed into a relational database. So you know that difference between database and then relational database, right? So okay, the relational data module, I will explain this one little bit. Is a set of concept to describe the structure of a database. In a certain constraint, the database should obey the following. Certain rules will be there. If you come, if you using a two three tables linked together. Imagine in any manufacturing company, they have a database. They are using a different tables, but the employee can have, they can, the employee table can link with salary table. But they have the marketing table as well. So marketing table means it is not nothing to do with the employee. So the marketing table is completely different. They will select that product, and then they will assign that product, and then they will sell to the customer. So the product table is nothing to do with the employee table. So what is the relation where they build that relation, how they build that relation between each table. So you know what, they have to follow certain rules. You know, if you merge with the play with the two tables, definitely they have specific. Here employee table has a salary, they same thing, you know, the salary table also have same name, otherwise you cannot club it, right? So maybe in the salary table, if I use sal or whatever basic sal, then I cannot take it from that employee table. So they have to use that certain rules. That's what here. What is it? Terms and the relations. Okay, here the database relations mean table. So I told you which data are organized in the form of row and column. So here in this student record, this is a table name student. I have created 6 or 7 students with separate number. This is admission number. I will explain later. Um,
NCRT, ma'am. This is
Yeah, but this is different one. I couldn't get it. The Smith Aurora one.
yes, ma'am.
I don't know why I couldn't download, or that is completely different when I open it in internet. So I just took some other thing is related to CBSE, but the concept is completely same. But little bit they have changed here and there. So that is why I took this. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, the next domain here, column means it will, row means it is a record for that particular item. So, for example, here this, if the selected one is it is called a tuple or record. You know that Python will, we know that what is tuple. Here they will treat as the entire row is a one record. This one is belongs to that admission number 203. So domain means it is automatic fixed value, so you cannot change. In this section here, this is called the domain. So why it is why it is called a domain? It is a fixed value. For example, if you are so there is a male or female. Now it is added cross gender, so you cannot make other out of it, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
the original set of automatic value used to model data, so that is called a domain. It is a unique possible unique values will be there. For example, here section in our school only grade 11 have grade 11 and 12, we have section A, B, maybe C will be there. So these sections are set of unique values. So unique value, if you say unique value, so that is a unique. You cannot use any other than. So for example, roll number. Roll number means the entire school and the roll number will appear only once. So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
domain is different. It has a set of unique values. Okay, so that is called the domain. For example, yeah, in the marital status, you can use either. You can use 4 possibilities: either married or unmarried, or widower or divorced. So that is why it is saying that a set of possible unique values of the particular column.
Yes,
Okay, the
ma'am.
tuple is a horizontal subset. I see horizontal subset of that information called tuple. A tuple or a record. For example, in this here in this student record, I would say that the 205. When I call select student record, select do not go from student record, means it will return the entire value. So what is the name of it, what is the class of it, and then section of everything, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
here they given a customer table as well. Key. key is an important part of the relational database. So I told you before, when I studied it is a primary key and then foreign key only. So now it has been changed. I don't know when it is changed. They have used a different name and then different meaning, but primary key is a common one. So the keys are an important part of the relational database. How it is helping to the relational database. We will see that there are three keys. Primary key, candidate key, alternate key. So in the primary key means only it is a unique one. So for in this example, the student record. One second.
Okay, ma'am.
Here we can use the admission number is also primary key. You can consider name. In general, name is not a unique key, right? So because in one class you can have many same name. So
Yes, ma'am.
Anu, in the grade 12 maybe three Anus will be there. Then Magesh in Madhu in grade 10 two three Madhus will be there. But in this table, they created that name is a unique. Right here, Anu is not repeated the same way. Every name is a unique. So if you can treat either this one primary key or a name as a primary key. Why I am saying that? I will explain because it will play with another key, candidate key. So the which key can play primary key? Okay, imagine if you can assign the two keys as a primary key. For
Ma'am,
example, imagine that customer ID.
ma'am, accept
So
this and
the huh?
in meet page accept
Okay,
this and
okay, 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 okay. Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
meeting is long, ma'am.
Okay. The primary key in any table, you can assign any two of them, make as any primary key. For example, in a customer table, customer ID is, I can make it primary. Even then, a phone number is also unique, right? So I can use a phone number as well, any one, but only I can fix that in particular table only one primary key, right? But there is a possibility I can make either phone number or ID. So it is depend on whoever developed that table, they can make it. So then next to candidate key. So candidate key is also play as a primary key, but one second.
Okay, ma'am.
Sorry. Okay, the candidate key or set of fields in the relation that eligible to act as a primary key. But that who that is user wish to assign which one act as a primary key. So what is alternate key means? If you are selecting two keys, either a phone number or ID. So this is the candidate. Imagine in an election, each party, in Karambalur city, there are many candidates, right? So for from each party, they will one candidate will can elect him. So if whoever apply, how do you say that? Um,
Nominate.
nominate, yeah, whoever nominated, that is a candidate, right? So but out of that five candidates or six candidates, only one will be elected, the same scenario here. So according to this table, so these two are treated as a candidate key. So out of these two, I can make this one is primary, then this one maybe it is called alternate. Okay. So if I assign id as a primary key, then phone number must be definitely it is a or alternate key. That is what they are explaining here. Okay, so then foreign key. Foreign key means for example here, if I say that a salary will be the foreign key because it is related to another table, right? So guys, you guys are following
Yes,
me,
ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that is the you can imagine that a foreign key is a column or combination of column it used to establish between two tables. So I showed you that example. Salary will be the foreign key. So degree is the number of attributes. See, this is called attributes. Addition number, admission number, name, and then class, section. In this student's record, I have 5 attributes. Cardinality means how many rows I have updated. Those are called, cardinality. Here I have added 6 records are there. Okay, so this, as per SQL term, this is called cardinal. How many cardinalities are in that student record? I would count it. Okay, 6. Then how many attributes are there in the table, in students table? I would say that 5. So I have written here 6 field or columns or you can say that attributes. What are all the attributes available in that particular students table? In maybe they will ask you this kind of questions. You have to know what is that. Okay,
Yes,
attributes
ma'am.
or column means in a particular student. Okay, the tuples means record. That's it. That the degree means number of columns. How many columns are available? Oh yeah, domain. You have to know that. Sometimes they have mentioned that attributes here. They will mention that section is a domain. They will give that exactly like this record. They will in a question paper they will give you. They will ask you to write a domain. Then you have to count it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 domains are there. Then you have to type possible values for that domain section is A B C D or whatever. Okay, so you know what is meaning of domain.
Yes, ma'am.
Then candidate key, yeah, I told you, right? Primary key, out of primary key, and then alternate key. Then structured query language. So what we would say that not SQL. You can pronounce SQL, but we will say SQL Server. SQL, that is a structured query language. How when it was started, it is a name of that airplane or the person, sequel or something. I forgot when I studied that time. The earlier stage, maybe North America and British people, they always says that a sequel. We only our Indian tradition, Asian people only they say SQL. It doesn't harm you, but the way of pronunciation you have to develop whenever you learn new things, especially if you are in IT field. Just develop the communication skills that will help you. If you don't know right away what is how to develop that code, if you talk nicely, using some English, this and that, you will survive wherever you go. Okay, this is the key
Yes,
point.
ma'am.
So you all guys, if you have a honestly saying, this period is really good time for you because you can learn more. When you go to school, you cannot find a leisure time.
Yes, ma'am.
Always they will keep you busy until 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. This time, this batch, maybe next year, I wouldn't say next year because this batch only the luckiest people. You can work around with your communication skills. In the website, there's so many. Tutorials would be there. Read a lot. I would suggest you all read books, that when I studied, I studied in Tamil medium. Even though in college itself, after finished my universities, I couldn't able to talk not even 1 minute. I was, struggling because I living in Karambalur those days. They remember, imagine in 20 years back, how
How
Karambalur,
come you went to Canada, ma'am?
uh,
And how come you went to Canada?
uh, what? After marriage, I moved to a country called the Seychelles. It's near Mauritius. There, it is an island, but 150 islands combined in one country. But the major island, I say, by car you can, round that country within 2 hours. So the very small island, we lived there for 4 years. That uh, we found that there is a no future for education, or very limited job opportunities. Then
Okay.
we decided to move either Australia or Canada. So we did. There is before the Canada, still also they open a gate. They are welcoming all over the world people. There is a pointing system. You have to apply. So we applied from there. I have a qualification those days, master degree, it will speak additional point, so we applied that. And the plus thing is, plus point is, the embassy, we placed it on Nairobi. So if I applied from here, definitely it will take another 5 years. If you
Yes.
go through agency, then you can pay money and then you can get a PR. But going legally, proceeding
Yes,
legally,
ma'am.
no, if you stay outside, then that will their procedure is completely different. So within 10 months period of time, we got a permanent resident PR over there. Then my situation, I was bouncing back and forth. So now, right now, I'm here. Okay. Welcome to structured query language. So why I'm saying is, I have experience. When I completed my degree, I was struggling a lot. I didn't do that much after that, but I listen, things, and then I started reading a book. It is a big pain for me because I don't like to read when I was small. Even though now also it is very tough for me. But you guys, you can make it. That's what I'm telling you. After graduation, you can, you have to fight with this society, right? So you
Yes, ma'am.
have to develop yourself in all aspects, not only, yeah, extremely you are good in programming, that is different. Not everywhere, wherever you go, they will respect you. But the stepping stone, you have to enter into a company, right? You need certain qualification. The way you have to portray yourself, the way you attend the interview, that is a different thing. So that is
Yes,
why
ma'am.
I'm telling you, this period is a precious period for grade 12 students. Otherwise, you cannot even imagine 1 hour free time. You won't get it, right? So now you have plenty of free time. You can make a use of it. So once you get into colleges, that is completely different story. So your age will play a major role. So now itself it started. So when you entered into a college, then age, definitely, because of your age, you will roam around with your friends, and then you always goofing off. Goofing off means, how do you say that? You are deviating from what you have to do. So that is a goofing off. Okay, that term is
Okay, ma'am.
called goofing off. Why in when you are in college, you have to study, and then you have to follow certain rules. But you always not only boys, girls also, they do that. So that is why I'm telling you, this period, the pandemic, this lockdown period is very precious for you. Just at least half an hour, take any book or English book or story, start from the scratch, the small stories,
Yes,
underline that. If you don't know that meaning, underline it, and then take a dictionary. And now you have a Google, you can right away, you can check it. Just mark everything, whatever you have, which word you have question or doubt, you don't know that meaning, just mark it down and then compare with a dictionary or Google. Just get familiar of that word. Next day, try to speak, use that word. So that's how you develop your vocabulary, and then you develop your communication skills. Whenever you learn new things, new word or anything, just next day, not only next day, maybe whenever you have a chance to talk, try to apply that. Okay.
yes,
So otherwise, when you go to college, Chennai students, they speak nicely. I'm not saying you guys are not speaking that good. No, I'm not saying that. So I'm
yes, ma'am.
saying everyone, even though I'm also learning. I'm also, whenever I watch movies, obviously English movies, we don't understand the complete dialogue, everything. I always follow the subtitle. If I don't know anything, then I will ask my son or daughter what is the meaning of it. They will help me, even my husband also. You don't, you if you some catching something, you have to remember, and then uh, clear, make sure, okay, this is okay, this is what this, you have to understand. Okay. So that will help you to develop yourself in all aspects, not only communication. If you watch English movie, how they, not handle things, you come to know, no? Right? Watching a Tamil movie, I never learn. You cannot learn anything. Maybe dance or something you can learn. So that okay, that's what I want to say. Whatever this is a precious time. So that's what I want to come here say. Okay. So you make a use of it, and then side by side you study well,
Sure,
then
ma'am.
you will have a definitely good future. Okay, let's come to query language, structured query language. So that is a meaning of so the name itself, it says structured query language. So what is a structured means? There should be a certain rules and regulation. There is a format of writing that language. So the special purpose of programming language is to use, the structure, why they are using it: creating a table, managing a data, and then manipulate a data. Create a table, that you have to add a data. So you are using some entity attributes, and then you can declare that this attribute should be in a data character. Oh, okay, data or number data or data one. In SQL, we can use 4 5 data types, right? You know that, right? How many data types are there? uh, Guys, you have already learned everything,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
yeah, how many data types? Give me at least a few.
Data types, any starting point you say, ma'am, we will continue with that.
Starting point: character,
Integer, float,
varchar,
Yes,
integer.
ma'am.
zero.
Varchar, int.
Ah, data types means, okay. You know that meaning, what is data? Okay, data is a collection of information. If I say any data, student name, so that name should be any type, either a string or number, right? So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
type of the data is called the data type. So if any languages, if you study C or C++ or Basic or Fortran, every languages, every database has a data types, but the declaration, the memory allocation will be changed, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
in a C, if you study C, you have to declare integer. Integer means it will allocate 32 bits, or I don't know exactly, but I'm saying that 16-bit data, or if you assign A equal to integer, okay, assign A in C++, I'm say talking.
Okay, ma'am.
Integer means it will allocate certain memory. So maybe 2 byte or 30. I don't exactly forgot. Then Python, why it is a super cool language. It will take whatever you pass in, that memory will be allocated. The same way SQL also has a certain set of data types. We will read it more, read it later here. Why we are using that structured language, it provides a statement, a variety of tasks. So what kind of task do we can use using that SQL? So querying data means you can write a script, that is, okay, select star from student, which means it will select all the record from that student table. So in that way, you can compare, you can put condition, select student name, student mark less than or equal to 35. So it will from student record, which means it will search that student table, and then it will select that mark. No, I'm saying mark means obviously we have mark, subject wise we have mark. It's simply I'm saying in that record I have only one attribute, that is called mark. Okay, the mark less than 35, which means that student is failed. I want to display it, so you can use that condition. So this kind of thing you are writing a query, right?
Yes,
Then
ma'am.
next one is you can update the data, update the table. How do you do that? You can insert any record. Okay, new
New
admission.
record.
uh, yeah, a new student admission is there, then I have to update. Okay, this student roll number I have to assign. The office staff members, they will assign in real example I'm saying, they will assign that a student ID. It depends on, the school has some strategy. The grade 12 students, you have ID, right? So in
Yes,
that
ma'am.
ID you have any particular number, roll number will be there, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? I don't know. I haven't seen any. Yeah, I'm. My daughter has idea. I don't know. I haven't noticed that one. Okay, each and every student have ID. So ID depends upon the school how they provide. So okay, in this example, so where what I showed here. Okay, forget about it. Inserting, updating, and deleting rows in a table. So you can insert the entire data record. So any new students, coming, then we have to insert. Okay, another student, Jashwant is moving to some other school. I have to remove that Jashwant complete record, right? So,
Yes,
what I can do, I can delete that Jashwant record. So replacing, what is replacing? Sometimes Jashwant is he changed his name by applied somewhere, and then he proven that record, and okay, I changed Jashwant into Jeremiah or whatever. So I have to replace that name. This kind of things you can do in that table.
yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
the controlling access the database and its object. Yes, controlling access to the database and the object. You can control that the database. You cannot modify that primary key and the secondary key. Excuse me.
Okay.
So these kind of controls will be there. The guaranteeing database consistency and integrity. Yeah, when the SQL Server, if you install SQL, that should be a consistency and then guarantee. Then only we will buy, right? Whatever the purchase or whatever. The same way, the table should be reliable, or what am I call it? Okay, I forgot that term. If I work with the employee table, that should be that an attribute should be reasonable name, and then reasonable data should be entered. These kind of things we study about it. Then what is the advantage of SQL? SQL is running all over mainframes, PC, laptops, and even mobile phone as well. it is user friendly. Nowadays everything will become GUI operation, right? So, graphical user interface, right? So what is a graphical user interface? Using that mouse, and then icons, buttons, we are using that, right? Those days, only the command prompt we open, insert the disk. When I started, before that I'm talking about, yeah, insert the operating system, MS DOS. They can open only one tool. Only they can type, add this, whatever they can type. They cannot move cursor. See here, I can move my cursor, I can play around, I can click here. This is user interface, which means it is interaction between user and computer. That is called GUI operation. You guys know about it, right?
Again one time,
uh,
again say one time,
yeah, GUI operation. GUI means GUI. Let me write it down here. So GUI means graphical user interface. Graphical user interface means it is interaction between user and the computer. See, using that mouse, so mouse is moving, right? You can see that, right? So
Yes,
using mouse, and then any buttons will be there here. I can play with that. You imagine I'm a unfamiliar of computer, so I'm just opening this laptop. I can able to play around, right? So because if I click this button, okay, it will pop up. I can imagine, I can read whatever it is. So this is user friendly, right? So the
yes, ma'am.
GUI operation, in late technology,
General user interface, ma'am.
huh?
General user interface.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
So the GUI operation means graphical user interface, not general. Graphical user interface.
It's
Okay,
also, ma'am.
expansion. Huh?
It is also, ma'am. General also it will come down.
Okay, but generally, in general, I would say GUI operation means the expansion is graphical
Yes,
user
ma'am.
interface.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we can play in nowadays technology is improved. You can put a signature on that. Whenever the courier person delivered that goods, and then you can sign before. What we did this signature on the paper. Now there is a machine, you can sign it, right? So it
Yes,
will
ma'am.
take that signature, and then compare with your record, and then it will approve it, right? So
Yes,
that is these kind of things. Moving my cursor, this is a graphical interface. So the SQL, yeah, why they are why I I'm saying it. The earlier days, only they cannot do anything. So just start the computer, and then any only one tool will be there. Fortran, then command prompt. You see, let me take my command prompt. I will come to CMD. Yeah, if I take that command prompt, I cannot use my cursor. Only I can drag and drop only, right? One the by typing I can do whatever I want to run this. In command, those days they use mostly command prompt, and then disk operating system. So the GUI interface, these kind of things are not existed that time. So that is why they are saying the SQL is, you can play, you can install in any interface. So here, running all server, mainframes, PC, laptops, and even mobile phones. It is a high speed. SQL queries can be used to retrieve large amount of records from the database quickly and efficiently. So what they are saying, for the imagine, Google website, they have a big database, right? So even whatever is the internet, we can say that the database, the server, they will located in somewhere else within a second. they can retrieve that data. But the major server will be located in America, I think so, right?
Rather,
But they have a domain here and there. Every city, metropolitan
yes, ma'am.
city, they will have a domain. So they have a domain, and then database backup, everything will be there. So whenever you type something google.com or your nearest domain. So here, I don't know, in Tamil Nadu, I must probably, they have in Chennai, they will it will select that the data from there, from that domain, it will display right away. So we, within a fractions of second, not even fractions of second, it will show our results, right? So that
Yes.
SQL also plays that, run same way. So it is a high speed, easy to learn and understand. Yeah, it is. We don't write much queries, much line of code, right? So SQL, we have certain set of query languages. You are not going to write big 100 lines or 200 lines. Only select, and you using some condition if or whatever few set of lines of code will be there. So you can easily you can understand that query language. So SQL is, oh guys, am I going very fast?
No, ma'am.
Can
No,
you
ma'am.
understand
Yes,
others?
ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
SQL is used with any DBMS
Yes,
system
ma'am.
with any vendor. So which means, SQL is a query language. So it is, used with any database management system. Mostly Oracle SQL will be used with a Oracle database. Oracle is a wide database. It is a older and then wide database. Mostly if you study Oracle, you can easily understand. But when you work in the Oracle, so that is different kind of job. So the SQL is used with any RDBMS. If you say example of any DBMS, I showed you. Anyone have any DBMS name except Oracle? Fox Pro, guys.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Name that any DBMS, database management name, any name.
Database management, ma'am.
Ah, ஏதாவது
Mm,
நேம் சொல்லுன்னு சொன்னேன். நான் ஆரக்கிள் சொல்லியிருக்கேன், டேட்டாபேஸ்.
yes, ma'am. Thinking, ma'am.
You don't need to think about it. Okay, I can I know few of them. I'm not going to tell, because when you already you have
Apache.
uh, just you Google it, right? Okay, guys.
No, ma'am. In Zamp it will be there, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, exactly, yes. You now
MySQL,
you
ma'am.
are okay. Go ahead. Okay, then you know what? If you study something, the related thing also you have to understand. Yeah, already in grade 11 you have studied database, right? A database, and then use SQL. So what is the difference between SQL and then database? How it is interrelated? Okay, what are all the another databases available in the computer world? You have to know little better. Okay, so if you are
Yes,
studying
ma'am.
Python, so Python is a programming language. It is interpreted language, right? Interpreted. It use interpreter, not compiler thing, right? You guys know
Yes,
that,
ma'am.
right? Yeah. Then
Yes, ma'am.
what other programming languages are available in that world?
Yes,
Every
ma'am.
5 years or 6 years, it some new things will come up. When I studied, I know C, C++. Then after later on, they are saying C sharp, and then Java, JavaScript. Many things are coming up. So you have
Yes, ma'am.
to you be update every time. Okay, so don't stick with Python. Whatever comes in the market, definitely you have to know at least name of it. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
Not only the computer thing, any technology. You have a phone, don't stick with Instagram or don't stick with Facebook or whatever. So the one advantage, if you are using that media, how do you say that, any Instagram and then Facebook, these are called what, how do you say that,
Social media, ma'am.
social media, yeah. They will
Social
send
website.
memes, so you come to know, okay, here it goes, that Trump says this, immediately they create a memes. So
Yes, ma'am.
when you read that memes, don't ignore that, because behind there is a drama will be there. So drama means not a real drama. They some new innovation comes, they will create a memes out of it, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
then when you read that memes, you have to think why they are it is happening. Okay, something he said, when Trump's come to India, there is a background work will be there. When the media, in what we know, that is different. What
Yes, ma'am.
actual thing, that is different, right? So you
Our
have to
point
know,
of view will be
okay,
different, ma'am.
huh?
Our point of view will be different,
Yeah,
ma'am.
definitely they will give information to that media totally different. But inside, the politician, not only politician, everywhere, everything, that will be different. So you have to be aware of everything. Maybe when you see that tsunami, some earthquakes happen. When I was small, I don't know what is that tsunami. When 2005 only, I have seen the movie called Unbasivam Kamal movie. So that
Yes, ma'am.
time he was before tsunami, that movie came. When I saw that movie, Kamal was saying, okay, tsunami hit my father, and then the waves come, 50-meter high waves, 50 feet high waves. I didn't even think about it. Oh, he was saying something. Then within few months after the tsunami hit Tamil Nadu, then only realized,
Yes, ma'am.
okay,
April
this
26th.
is what, huh?
In
Yeah,
2004, December 26th, ma'am.
yeah, 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 20, yes, December 26th. But why I am saying it, if something, any Instagram, okay, earthquake happened, in flight crash happened, something will be there. You have to, being, in this world is so much competition. You have to compete with them, right? So you don't stick with that your
Ma'am.
subject. You have to, gather information, this and that. So gather all the information, just put into right way. Okay. So yeah, I always deviate here and there. Okay,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
let's move on to SQL
Yes,
is used for a relational database. Yeah, what is the relational database? Time's up.
ma'am. Time up.
Come on, guys. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
you have next session. Do you have?
Tomorrow
No,
it's
no, no, no. I'm asking
yes,
after
ma'am.
2:30.
Tomorrow,
After 2:30, you have any other classes?
yes, ma'am. Need classes
Oh, okay,
3:30, ma'am.
okay, guys. Okay, okay, okay. I'll wind up now. Bye,
Thank you, ma'am.
bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.